Uh, Typhoon Haiyan is one of the most devastating storms to have ever hit the Philippines or anywhere else in the world. We're talking about 9 million people affected, of which 4 million are children, 700,000 people displaced, death tolls rising, debris all over the place. I was in the tsunami in 2004 in Sri Lanka. It looks exactly the same, and the place is flattened. Access is extremely difficult, and you now have rising concerns very quickly about shelter, about food, about clean water and sanitation, and about disease outbreaks as a result of this mass devastation. There is massive destruction. A lot of the infrastructure is down, and debris is everywhere. We've been able to get staff into Tacloban, the capital of Leyte, where there is a working airport. We got through on a C-130, and we're redirecting supplies from other parts of the Philippines, as well as airlifting supplies, health supplies, wash supplies, recreational kits into Cebu on a nearby island, and into Leyte itself. We're working as we speak to get those supplies from those distribution hubs into the hands of populations that need it, and also to get more staff on the ground to be able to provide support and assistance in the areas of water and sanitation, first of all, in the areas of health, and in the area of child protection, because we're very concerned about separated, unaccompanied children. In terms of the needs that UNICEF is responding to, we're first responding to most urgent needs. The most urgent needs today is to deal with water, sanitation, and hygiene, making sure that people have access to potable water through water purification tablets, different systems that can deal with sanitation in small urban settings, and generally reaching out in a dialogue with the population so that we address sanitation and hygiene. The second need is going to be to prevent disease outbreaks and making sure that basic health supplies are available to the population. Very soon thereafter, and as we're working on these life-saving needs, we're also going to need to be looking at separated and unaccompanied children and finding ways to work with sister agencies, non-governmental organizations, UN agencies, and the government to reunify these children with their families, and in the interim find safe spaces for them. As we look ahead, more and more we'll need to see the role that education can play in order to provide a safe haven for children, in order that through a resumption of education, the children can get a sense of normalcy and a sense that life will come back, and a sense that they will go back towards an activity that is familiar. These are some of the immediate issues that we'll be working on. At the same time, UNICEF will be part of the process of rebuilding the Philippines and looking at, on a medium-term perspective, what can be done to build resilience within communities, to build resilience within families, and to work closely with the authorities on the ground, with civil society, to build back better, so that whatever has been destroyed by the tempest, whatever has been destroyed by the hurricane, is not a symbol of defeat, but in fact is a symbol of what we can do, what the human spirit can do to get back on its feet, to get back to a time where we could focus on development again and move the Philippines forward. Let me try that again. The Philippines has been dealt a terrible blow by Hurricane Haiyan. This came on top of an earthquake in Bohol and civil unrest and fighting in parts of Mindanao. But UNICEF is there to support the children of the Philippines, to make sure that we don't forget the children of the Philippines, to work with government and Filipino civil society and sister agencies to put children at the center of the response, and address their immediate needs in a way that increases resilience, reduces vulnerability, and looks towards a hopeful future. It will take time to get over these wounds. It will take time to rebuild the infrastructure. But UNICEF wants everyone to know that it will be there as a trusted partner, working with children, working with communities, working with the government and civil society for the children of the Philippines.